All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. By the way, I thought it was kind of funny because a nice lady, she seemed very nice, who called in last segment. I actually stayed out of the conversation, and I let JD have a conversation with her. And the one call where he actually has a nice conversation with the caller, he gets attacked. I thought that was kind of funny, JD. I'm sorry about that. I tried to stay out of that. You were on her side, and she said you were yelling at her. You got to calm down, JD. You got to stop yelling at the callers. I keep telling you that every show. You got to be nicer to the callers, show them respect, lower your voice. Can you do that? Can you do that for our listeners?
You know, I'll really work on it, Brian.
All right. Well,
I'll make a conscious effort.
I'll tell you what, that lady who called in reminds me a little bit of Nancy Goodman. Do you remember Nancy Goodman? Nancy Goodman is the woman who, there were a couple African-American women that were in a restaurant.
The Klanswoman?
Well, she thought that they were a little loud, and she called them the N-word. Can we hear from Nancy? Nancy, are you there?
I suffer from tremendous anxiety.
Tremendous anxiety. Those African Americans give me tremendous anxiety. Anyway, thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I do say that about Donald Trump. He's like herpes. He's the gift that keeps on giving. So is Nancy Goodman. That audio will never go away on this show.
Okay,
it is
so what
radio
happens?
Gold.
What happens if Donald Trump gets impeached? Does our content just get reduced by 60%? What do we talk about then, Brian?
I think of it as having herpes, and then your herpes goes away.
Okay.
You saw a doctor, even though herpes is known to be a disease that won't go away.
So do you think that
it miraculously disappears?
Assuming he gets impeached and he ends up, say him and his family end up going to jail for an extended period of time, do you think
that's not going to happen?
Do you think that we'll still end up having content?
Yes, because
that he is bringing us from behind bars.
Yes, because before Donald Trump was president, I did a radio show, and I did quite well with that show. And yes, I do think that the content will be there no matter what. Donald Trump,
I'm saying
gone.
Donald Trump-oriented content.
Well, sadly, I will admit the fact that I miss him.
Do you think he'll find a way?
I'm being honest with you.
To make the news consistently every single day when he's not president of the United States?
Listen, this is called being intellectually honest. I'm going to intellectually, honestly answer the question and say I would miss Donald Trump terribly. Okay? I would. I can't stand the man, but I would miss him. You know, it's kind of like an ex-girlfriend that you can't stand, but there's a be part of you. Maybe she or he does something that you miss. I know I have a few.
So it would be basically a boring America from 2020 to 2024.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But anyway, let's take some more phone calls at 257-5396. Let's go to Mark. Mark, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, I called yesterday for the first time and went to your website, checked you guys out. Hey, Brian, you seem like a really good guy. But you know what? Just because people don't agree with you, you don't have to call them a right-wing moron.
Okay, now hold on, Mark. Let me stop you there. If somebody says something that is not factual, if somebody says something that is disrespectful, if somebody says something that is I consider to be attacking, you're damn right I'm going to attack back. I have absolutely no problem with people that I disagree with, whether you're a Trump supporter or not. In fact, JD is a Trump supporter. But we agree on a lot of things also.
I saw JD's bio. He seems like a really good guy. By the way, JD, who do you like tonight in the game?
I like the Eagles in the game, +4.
Okay. All right.
Mark, I haven't called you a name, have I, in this conversation? I've been very nice to you.
No, but Brian, like I said, you seem like a guy that could have a really good debate. You have really good content.
We have had good debates.
I am a Trump supporter, and
I don't have a problem with that.
I called yesterday. I got a chance to speak to Michael Aviante. And you know what?
It's not Aviante. It's Michael Avenatti. Let's get his name right.
Avenatti. Well,
okay.
I found a newfound respect for the man.
I appreciate that.
He was actually quite gracious.
I appreciate you saying that, and I'm sure he would appreciate it too, Mark. And I will say this to you, my friend.
Michael Avenatti is very misunderstood.
Mark, even though you probably disagree with him on a lot of things, I would never tell you never to call back in. If you disagree with him, I would always welcome that conversation. And I got to tell you something. I've gotten a chance to know Michael Avenatti as well. And I agree with you. I think he's extremely intelligent. We'll see where where his legal troubles go. I hope he ends up being okay with that. But that's why we have him on, because it's always a good debate, and he's not afraid to debate anybody. And, Mark, I appreciate those kind words, my friend. I got to get to some other callers, okay?
I appreciate it. You guys have a great day, man.
Thank you, Mark, and we appreciate you checking out our website, too, by the way.
That was a circle of appreciation.
Well, I appreciate that. By the way, our website, thevegastake.com, right? So
absolutely.
Check it out. 257-5396 is the number to call. I believe our next caller is Mike. Mike, how's it going?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, thank you guys for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm just letting you know, Brian, that nothing's going to happen to Donald Trump. He's going to be our president all the way to the,
And what makes you
2020.
what makes you so sure with that statement?
Because did you listen to the program before you?
Did I listen to who?
Brian Kilmeade.
There's a
I don't-
program.
I did not.
Before you.
Yeah, I know. It's Brian Kilmeade. He's a very nice guy. He's been in studio here before doing his show here. He does a different show than what we do, but he does a good show. But I don't get show content from other people.
It's so funny because all the news that you're giving out to us on your program is not.
Well, I'm not biased. Mike.
It's not even same with the news that is.
Okay, well, Mike, here's the deal. I like Brian Kilmeade. I think he does a great show. What network does he work for?
Fox.
And would you say Fox is leaning to the left or the right?
Well, I think they're fair.
Would you say
not like CNN?
Would you say I didn't ask you about CNN. I didn't ask you about CNN. I said, would you say Fox News leans to the left or the right? Please answer the question.
Oh, left and right.
You think
They
Fox
are fair.
News? Hold on a second. So your position, Mike, is Fox News leans to the left and the right. Is that your position?
Yeah, they
Okay,
fair.
Mike, have a nice day. Have a nice day. You make a lot of sense. 257-5396. Mike believes Fox News leans to the left and the right. I'd be the first one to admit CNN is to the left, MSNBC is way to the left, and Fox News is way to the right. And if you disagree with that, there's something wrong with you. I appreciate the call, Mike. But if you think that Fox News is to the left and the right, I don't know. There's something going on there. I don't know. I mean, are you a lefty? Are you a righty? Are you leaning one way in your apartment? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
You could argue that Shepard Smith
is a news anchor.
and Juan Williams kind of lean to the left a little bit. They're more so left center than they are right, but there are definitely some extremist right-hand views on Fox News.
Name me a show
and some overall right-hand Fox.
Name me a show after
oriented or leaning shows.
Name me a show after 5 o'clock on Fox News that leans to the left, please.
I don't watch Fox News after 5 o'clock.
Okay, well, the answer is zero. So, opinion is after 5 o'clock. And by the way, I would say the same thing about CNN. They lean to the left. Fox News leans to the right. I don't know why it's so hard for people to make that assessment. 257-5396. Let's go to Linda. Linda, what's going on?
Doing
Good, Linda. What's on your mind?
okay. All I want to say is we've been hearing about all this for days and days and days, and the bottom line is going to be whoever still loves Trump and wants Trump in is going to be there, and whoever hates him is going to still hate him.
I agree. I don't disagree.
Right, and another thing about the hate, the left to me, even you sometimes I've heard you call Trump how you hate him and he's a scumbag, blah blah blah.
Yes.
But they spew so much hate. Everything is hate, 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 hate.
Well,
and
Linda,
they constantly try to blame it on the right.
okay, well, Linda, I'm not blaming his personal actions on the right. You understand why I called Donald Trump a scumbag?
Well, because you don't like him as a person.
Well, can I explain to you why I don't like him as a person? Would you like me to?
Well, you can tell me, I guess. Yeah,
Okay,
I would like
well,
you to tell me.
Okay, I'll give you a couple instances. We could be here for hours, but I'll give you a few. First of all, I think any guy that has unprotected sex with a porn star a few months after his wife had the child is a scumbag. I think any guy that goes after a POW, in this case John McCain, and says he doesn't respect him because he was captured, the same guy who dodged the military because of bone spurs, allegedly, is a scumbag. I think any guy that goes after a woman based on her looks is a scumbag. I think any guy that attacks anybody and calls them names and acts like a 10-year-old is a scumbag. I think any guy that goes on a national and world stage with Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un and takes their side over the United States of America is a scumbag. I can go on, but
any guy or any president?
any
Brian?
president.
Any president.
Okay, I'm speaking.
Because some of the things that you just said that he does, you do on a regular basis.
Absolutely
and
not.
and that would make you a scumbag.
What have I done? I've gone on a
Tell me
national
one
stage
thing.
with
Has
Kim
your
Jong-un.
Has your life gotten any worse since Trump's been president? I don't think anybody's life, the people that hate him
That's
so
a separate.
much,
Okay, but that's a
I don't
separate
think
subject.
their life has got any worse since he's been in office.
Okay, well, first of all, I would say it hasn't gotten any better for me, number one. Number two, I just answered your question why I think he is a quote-unquote scumbag. We didn't talk about policy. 95% of the reason why I dislike Donald Trump is I think he's a horrible human being. Now, I just gave you 5 examples, and all I'm asking you to do is say, okay, Brian, well, I understand that. I like him because of policy. I like him because, and I'll respect your opinion, Linda. All I'm saying is that's why I think the man is a horrible human being. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess what you spilled off could go for a lot of people that we won't mention.
The difference is those a lot of people are not the president of the United States.
Right. I agree with that part.
Okay.
But I
Linda,
mean,
you have a right to support him.
guy could turn his head the wrong way and people will complain about it. He should have looked up, but when he looked down, I mean, he had a red sock on. He should have had a blue sock on.
And people are noticing that.
But Linda,
people are picking up on that, and they're getting very, very tired of it.
Linda, with all due respect, he didn't pick his head up and pick his head down. He actually spoke to the president of the Ukraine and wanted dirt on a political opponent in 2020. Surely you have to understand.
He requested a favor. He did not mention the word dirt specifically, Brian.
Okay, well, opening up an investigation.
I'm not talking about this incident. I'm talking about anything in 3 years. Since day one, since he came down that escalator,
all right.
The hate has been out there for him. They don't give this guy a break. When he does
let's focus on me.
Talk about something bad.
Well, let's focus on me. I don't want to talk about everybody else. I just gave you the reasons why I don't like the guy.
Right.
I mean,
and you're entitled to your reasons. Everybody's entitled to their reasons.
I think my reasons are fair. I think they're pretty fair. I laid it out for you. I gave you 4 or 5 reasons why I think the guy's a complete scumbag.
Okay, but if you agree with his policies, why wouldn't you
Not
want
all of
him
them.
to be the next president?
You did. I don't agree with all of his policies. First of all, I do think transgenders should serve in the military. I think it's a disgrace that a transgender who's been serving in the military, not even at war, but serving at a desk for 25 years, is told through a letter, I'm sorry, because you're a transgender, you can't serve in the military. I think that is an utter disgrace. I also don't believe in his tax policies. I don't believe that the rich should get richer. I think we should help middle class. And I also think there should be a pathway to citizenship. I appreciate the call, Linda. I got to get to other calls. 95% of the reason why I don't like the guy has nothing to do with policy, but I just named a few policies I don't like. That's all. That's all. I appreciate your call, Linda. We disagree, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm just trying to let you hear me out a little bit. 257-5396. Anthony, you're next. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, guys. I think that Biden's son definitely should not be a question. I think that he worked for a private gas company that had its issues 10 years ago, which were resolved 10 years ago.
Yes.
So this president now has committed an impeachable offense based on something that happened 10 years ago because of a guy's son.
Yeah.
I think that, what you said, the transcripts yesterday were not transcripts. Those were notes from one of the note takers. According to the testimony today, there were 12 note takers. That was just one of the people. And those weren't transcripts. Those were notes from the phone call. So
Anthony, 2 words. Anthony, 2 words, cover up.
Clearly, what's so funny to me is that I think we're now back at Bush. Fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, you won't be fooled again.
Anthony, you know what? I'm gonna have to start using that. Although I think I like my herpes analogy better. He's the gift that keeps on giving. But Anthony, I might have to steal that from you if you'll give me permission.
Right. I think that the people were fooled.
I like it.
Russian help, and now he just did it again for Ukrainian help.
He did. He said, "Would I be dumb enough to do that?" I think Michael Avenatti said it best yesterday. Yes, he just showed he is dumb enough. Anthony, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for calling, Anthony.
257-5396. Lewis, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's up?
Hey, first and foremost, look, I think it's a nothing burger, and that's okay. And I know what Brian's answer is going to be because that's his answer to everything.
What do you mean that's my answer to everything? What's my answer to everything? No, hold on a second. What do you mean it's my answer to everything? What does that mean?
Look, can I finish?
Well, you said something that doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna say it. The problem everyone should have, regardless of party, is the following. The whistleblower wasn't even there.
Doesn't matter.
And if this was in court, this would be inadmissible.
Disagree. Did you not hear what I said earlier? Multiple White House officials have direct knowledge of the call. They're going to be testifying.
Okay, then. But what is the spectacle today on the whistleblower?
It's not a spectacle.
This would totally be. As a citizen, you should be outraged that this is even in.
As a citizen, you should be outraged that the president of the United States asked for dirt on a political opponent in 2020. You should be outraged, sir, with all due respect.
Okay, well.
No, it's not okay. You should be outraged.
Brian, you keep using the word dirt. It wasn't dirt. He wanted a favor. He wanted the investigation.
He wanted a favor to hurt his political opponent. What did you call that?
Why do you call it dirt?
He wanted a favor.
What defines dirt, Brian?
He wanted negative.
No, what defines dirt?
My next point?
He wanted
let him finish.
He wanted an investigation opened up.
Go ahead.
Can I finish my next point?
Yes, I'm outraged, Lewis. I'm outraged. Go ahead.
But, here's your point. And here's where you're wrong, Brian. You're absolutely 100% wrong.
I can't wait to hear this. Go ahead.
You are the facts guy, according to you less than 2 minutes ago. Fox is more balanced than CNN or MSNBC.
Is Fox on the left or the right? Answer the question. Find me a show after 5 p.m. that's on the left.
But I'm not talking about left or right. I'm talking balance.
Yes, you are. You just said that.
No,
fair and balanced. We're talking about left and right.
Fox has had a Bernie Sanders town hall.
So
Fox
what?
Fox has
CNN has Republicans on all the time. So what?
Shows.
CNN has Republicans on all the time. Find me a show after 5 p.m. that leans to the left. Go. Answer the question.
I've told you.
Answer the question. Find me a show after 5 p.m. that leans to the left. Go. Answer the question.
They lean to the right, but that's not what
okay,
I was
thank you,
talking
Lewis.
about.
Have a nice day. No, Lewis, I got to get to other callers. So obviously facts do matter, and I just gave you facts. 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Al. Al, what's going on?
Morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, what's up,
Okay.
Al? I just found out that only anything after 5 p.m. only matters. Nothing before that matters, and the day is only 7 hours long.
Because they do news.
Brian just taught me that.
Well, no,
I just learned something.
No, I will teach you that before 5.
I am becoming educated.
Find me an opinionated show.
My co-host Brian Shapiro.
JD, find me hold on a second. Hold on a second. Now, 1 second. Find me a show, JD, before 5 p.m. that is not opinion based. Is there a show before 5 p.m. on CNN or Fox News that is opinion-based?
I'm just happy that the day is 7 hours long.
Answer the question. Is there a show before 5 p.m. on CNN or Fox News that is an opinion-based show?
Hey, what's up, Al?
Okay, you don't want to answer the question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This isn't the reason I'm calling, but I think that's fair with all the networks after 5 p.m. Nobody's balanced. They all lean one way or the other.
I agree. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Bear with me with this, and
okay.
I'd like you to really fully articulate your thoughts on this because I'm really curious.
Okay,
about
go
it.
ahead, Al. Go ahead.
So the fact that Biden got this week, I think we all agree he wanted the prosecutor fired, correct?
He certainly made a public comment about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and he's admitted that he wanted him fired.
Yes.
And so everybody's argument on the left is that the prosecutor was corrupt in the EU, France, everybody wanted the guy gone, right? Because he was corrupt. Yes. So you have basically signed off multiple occasions. I've heard you say this very, very adamantly that there's already been an investigation. So if the guy is so corrupt, why do you feel like the investigations that they did, the Ukrainians did, on his son or him or whatever the company is valid? Why wouldn't we want the American government to do their own investigation like we've investigated?
Okay. Well, let me answer that.
It's
a fair question. Let me give you the best answer that I can. First of all, and I've stated, if Joe Biden and his son were serial killers, it wouldn't change my opinion on what Donald Trump did with the Ukrainian president.
Okay. I'm going to agree with you.
Okay, good. Okay, so we agree on that. Okay. Yes.
We're setting that aside. We're talking about Biden
so you agree.
and the Ukrainian.
I understand. But you agree on that point because that's a very important point, right, Al?
Well, I'm not saying I agree with your opinion. I'm agreeing with you that whatever he did is proven that he did it. Stands on its own. Has nothing to do with the Bidens whatsoever.
So here's the thing. I haven't seen 100% full proof that Joe Biden did anything wrong. I haven't seen 100% full proof that his son did anything wrong. Whether you agree or not with the Ukrainian investigation, it was an investigation and it was closed.
Is it possible that the investigation wasn't a thorough investigation?
Well, let me ask you this.
Is it possible that the couple of House Democrats interfered with the investigation and asked that it was abruptly stopped? And again, Joe Biden went on national television and said that if the prosecutor was not fired within 6 days, he would withhold $1 billion.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I'm sorry, 6 hours. That actually took place.
I'll answer your question.
There's no speculation about that.
I'll answer your question by saying this. There are a lot of Republicans out there that do not like the Bidens. There are a lot of Republicans out there that also work for the FBI. There are a lot of Republicans out there that are very prominent individuals. If Joe Biden, if there was a there, and there was something there that could have even put him in jail, let alone out of politics, don't you think the Republicans would have pushed for something in this country, an investigation? Now, I'll ask you that question.
Well,
why would they have?
Why? One, this is what happens with you. So you kind of shifted.
I'm not shifting.
I'm asking you specifically, do you have, because you've made it pretty clear that you kind of do, you've got 1,000% confidence in the fact that the Ukrainians did an investigation, they closed it, the Bidens are fine, there's no there. Because I don't know that
he's just saying it's closed. He doesn't know if it was good or bad.
Exactly. None of us do. So why wouldn't we, as a country, want to know what went on for ourselves?
I wouldn't have a problem.
And why wouldn't a guy like Donald Trump want to know that, especially after how thoroughly he's been investigated? And, Brian, the reason that wasn't brought up because Barack Obama was president then.
Okay, and thank you for the call, by the way, Al. I'll respond again by saying this. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. I care about what Donald Trump does right now. And when it comes to Joe Biden, I haven't seen any 100% proof that there was any wrongdoing. It's very simple.
And there hasn't been a microscope on it because Joe Biden hasn't been a threat to Donald Trump at this point or to the Republican Party.
And there you go. Ding, ding, ding. Now all of a sudden Joe Biden might be a threat. All of a sudden Donald Trump cares about it. You just answered my question for me, and that is the wrongdoing.
He has skeletons in the closet. And now is the time to bring that to the public light.
As the president
and that's what this is all about.
And yes,
that's
you're
what
right.
this comes down to.
And as the president of the United States, that is inappropriate behavior. You can't just all of a sudden say, well, since Joe Biden is a threat to me, why don't we open up an investigation? You just made my point for me. That is the wrongdoing, and ultimately that is what is going to get him out of office.
He asked for a favor. It's not going to get him out of office. In fact, the person it's going to hurt is Joe Biden and the Democratic Party.
I could not disagree with you more. 257-5396. Let's go to Chuck. Chuck, you're next.
What's up, Chuck?
Hey, let's go back to talking about JD calling you a scumbag, and that's how the honest truth is, right?
Okay. Well, Chuck, you could say whatever you want about me. That's fine.
No, I'm telling you what the truth is. I listen to you once in a while, and you're just a snowflake, man.
Okay. Thank you, Thank you, Chuck. Is there anything substantial that you'd like to talk about? I'm so sorry that you call me a snowflake.
You're not substantial.
You probably have a poster.
Sure.
You probably pleasure yourself to a poster of me in your bedroom every night, Chuck. What do you think about that? Have a nice day. Have a nice day, Chuck. Have a nice day.
Hey,
I'll send that autographed 8x10 in the mail to Chuck the Snowflake. Brian, what do you think about that? 257-5396. Let's go to Doug. Doug, what's going on?
Hey, Doug.
No, I want to go party with Chuck, guys.
Doug, I only got about 30 seconds. I'm sorry to cut you short, my friend.
I'll make it real quick.
Okay.
Brian, I agree with you completely. What he did was a scumbag move. However, it's not an impeachable offense. Second thing is, if an entire situation can go down while Obama's president, things can get swept under the rug. Yeah, I think things can get swept under the rug now. Yeah. I think when you get down to brass tacks, I want you to listen to a friend of mine. He's an acquaintance of mine from college, Chris Coons, Senator Coons.
Okay.
The college we went to taught us to think for ourselves. I am not a Democrat. I am a conservative. But you know something? When a gentleman who went to my college talks, I listen because they teach you to think.
Doug, here's what I want you to do. We're going to continue this conversation later on in the show. I'd welcome you to call back. I hate to cut you off, but I'm up against a hard break. Coming up next, we go from Donald Trump to Alice Little. That's right. You don't know who Alice Little is? You might want to stay tuned for this interview. It's going to be fun, maybe explosive. I don't know. We'll talk about that coming up next on The Vegas Take.